Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, welcome back. Mike with Useful Garage. So, what I've got here is our benchtop power supply. There was part 1 already and part 2, and actually the teardown video of the computer that we got this out of. So, I've been working on this for a while off camera, and what I've done as far as the wiring is concerned is on all of our groups here, I've put our ring terminals that are going to go to our through connectors in our case. So I've done that, except for just a couple here, so I can show you how that's done. And then here, so if you remember, these are our connectors for our power LED for when the unit is on. We'll have the green LED that lights up, and then our extra case fan 12 volt power here. So this one's 3.3 volt, this one's 5 volt, and the black here is the ground. I've taken one of the 4-pin Molex connectors from the computer that we tore down and cut one of the, there's usually another black one here. I have cut that off. So we've just got the 3, which is all we need. So it's kind of like a little custom connector. If you can figure out, if you have the tool, I suppose, you can unpin this and actually remove the metal pin from the plastic connector, and you could make it one wire if you wanted to, and it would look really, really clean, but I can't get it out. And the other thing that I've done is our unused wires, all but one, so I can show you how I do these, have been terminated. Meaning wrapped up and put in a position where they're not going to touch on any parts of this and short out and possibly mess up our power supply. Okay, so I guess we'll go here and we'll do our first set, or our last couple sets here of ring terminals. So you're going to need some ring terminals. These are the yellow size, which is, I forget what the size is, 12 to 10, I believe, or 14 to 10 American wire gauge size. Some strippers and some crimpers. So I've already got 3 stripped here. And what I found is on these power supply, and your mileage may vary, but these are 18 gauge on mine. And I can get 4 into one of these yellow connectors without overtaxing it. Actually, I'm going to zoom in here so you can really see what we're doing. Okay, so I've got our three of our grounds. So there's 6 left. These first 2 are groups of 4. Everywhere I could do a group of 4, I did a group of 4, unless there was like 6. And then I do 2 groups of 3, because you got to do 2 groups anyways. And it works. The closer you can get to the size of the connector, the better. So we'll start right from the beginning. So we're going to take these. First off, we want to make sure that they're all pretty similar in length. And then we're going to take this, our 18 gauge, and we're going to go about 3/8 of an inch down, strip it. I'm going to do all of these. Okay, so they're all stripped. Then the next thing I do is I start right where the insulation meets the bare wire and start twisting until you get a nice kind of tight little spiral. It makes them easier to put together and easier to get into your ring terminals. Okay, so we're going to take all these. I find it easiest to put the insulation right in line with each other. And now we got 3, you'll kind of form them into a little triangle. Hold them tight as you can, and spin them together. Okay, so that's pretty good connection there. So then I'm going to take this, and usually when I'm putting these on, I'll turn them the same direction that I spun it, just to make sure that there's no little stray wire hanging out that may cause you a problem down the road. So then we're going to go crimp that Okay, and I always check too. Grab the wires, grab the terminal, pull, make sure there's no looseness. If there is, usually you can crimp it again before it pulls out, and you'll be all right. So we'll do the same exact thing here. Twist nice and tight. And if you don't have real strong fingers, or you can't get a good tight twist on that, don't be afraid to pull out a pair of needle nose and gently with a pair of needle nose, twist them together. Okay. Last thing is going to be our last terminated connection, which is going to be this brown wire. So as you can see, what I've done with these other ones is I've just looped them over and taped them, and it's that simple. Loop it over. I try not to pinch it too much here, because you could possibly break some strands in here if you pinch this down real hard. So I just make a little small loop. Take some electrical tape. Now this is the big part on this. Hopefully we'll be able to see. So you can see I've got the bare end here, right? So that there is, you can actually not with my camera quality, but there is wire there. So you want to cover that. Go half on the two part, half on the single wire. Give it a couple of go rounds. And pull that off. Put the tape away. Just finish that up. And there you go. So all of our wires are terminated. Okay. Our switch for our power supply, our switch connectors, good. Grounds, 2 5 volts, 1 3.5 volt, 1, starting to get hard to see, 1 12 volt, the yellow, and then our custom 3-pin / 4-pin Molex. So the other thing that I've done is, sorry for the arm and the face there, put together this assembly. So this is the other end of our Molex connector from our power supply. So what this is this is a female 4-pin Molex that has 2 wires on every outlet, right? Or on every pin. So on this one, same, it lines up with the one on the other one. Cut it off. Okay, so there's no connection here at all. So yellows are 12 volt, which is for our fan. Black is the ground, so we've used both of those wires, one for the fan, one for our power LED. And our orange / red, it's all red on this side of the connector, but it's the orange here, so it's the 3.3 volt, is the entire circuit for our lighting. So this is all separate. So, and this is just hot glued in, and I'll show you what this is when we get there. And I know it doesn't look the greatest, but I kind of like once the switch is in here, the switch mounts here, you can't see the roughness of this hole. This is like just a real thin piece of sheet metal, and I kind of like this kind of rusty look. So now we just need a box to put it all in. And through the magic of YouTube, here's our box. Okay, not the prettiest box in the world. I kind of messed up here when I was cutting the square hole for the fan, but it's functional. And for me, that's the biggest thing. Everything else is what it is. So, all right. I guess we'll do one more final assembly and testing. All right. So if you like, if you haven't seen the other ones, check out part 1 and part 2. I'll put the links to those in the description. Subscribe, hit the like button. Let me know how I'm doing. All right. Thanks. Have a good one.